Okay, I have started recording. Okay. A few more joining in.
Okay.
Okay, I see here Jinat and Andre, Yiming, George, Winnie, Yiling, Bile, Kawe, Waikit, Mano. Any more here? Let me check. Okay, we have Pei coming in. So far we have 11. 5 more to join. Okay. Okay, it's about time. We will start with the introduction. Okay. How many of you have, I think most of you have accessed the LMS. Most from the statistics that I checked, the most recent statistics, 14 out of 16 students have already accessed the LMS. But I'm not sure how many of you have downloaded the course assignment and also the other details related to the course. But the most important thing that you need to download is the assignment, course assignment. Okay, because at the end of the day, end of the 2 seminars, your assessment will be based on your achievement of the learning outcome as per what is there in the assignment. Okay, that's the most important document that you need to download. In case if any of you have any difficulty in assessing the LMS, just let me know. Let me know. I can even send directly the assignment to you, or I can even share it in the group, WhatsApp group. I'm sure all of you are in the WhatsApp group. Okay. The reason why I've created a WhatsApp group, not only for this class, but some of the other class that I'm involved in the DBA program. I'm involved in 3 courses in DBA. Not 3, actually, it is 4. This is the first course. And then there is another course when you go to your term 3 in January. There is a course on strategic thinking and implementation where I'm the course lead, but it will be facilitated by a facilitator. And then when you go to your level 2, you will have another course that I will be leading, course lead, that is management consultancy, will be facilitated by a facilitator. And I'm also supervising. At the moment, I'm the main supervisor for about 10 candidates who are doing their dissertation. Okay, you need to remember, even though many of you are starting this as your first course or the first module. How many of you this is your first module? You can just okay. Many of you first module. You can raise your hand. There is in the Zoom. You have the okay. We know already. Many of you it is a first module. How many of you have already done modules in the past? That is If you started, let's say if you have started last year, July, you would have completed by now 3 modules, starting with your accounting, management accounting, and then corporate governance, and then supply chain management, and then you are coming to transformational leadership. How many of you have already done few modules? Some of the modules last year. Do we have anyone who have already completed some of the modules? Okay, Pepe have done. George, you have done. Okay, George. Okay. So, George, have you done the strategic thinking and implementation?
No, sorry. No, I'm fresh new for this this year. Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay,
Yes,
hope
yes.
everyone can hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, just now my Unify was down. Okay.
Okay. No worries about that. Okay, I have started recording in case if you anybody with any connectivity problem, if you miss, you should be able to view the recording. Okay, so far we have 14. 2 of the other 2 more supposed to be in. They are not in yet, but okay, as I said, recording will be made available. But I hope it is very important to attend the first session. Because in the first session, all the basic information that is required for this module, I will be providing you, especially the guidelines on doing the assignment. This module is about leadership. We're going to learn about leadership. That is not only just leadership, but it is about transformational leadership and change management. There are 2 components. The other component, the coverage is not as wide as the transformational leadership. Transformational leadership part of this module is the main part that consists of close to 70 to 75% of the content. That is a course content. The other part will be change management. Okay. This module is all about how you as a leader learn first before you transform your organization, before you transform people in the organization, you learn to transform yourself. Self-transformation is the first stage. That means at the end of this module, I will be going into
He's
the
doing it like from
outcome.
wall or something.
It's just background.
Okay, you can mute those because the background, okay, there are some noise coming up. Okay, you can unmute when you speak. Okay, all right. So again, transformational leadership. Before you transform your organization, your people, there is a need to learn about self-transformation. At the end of this module, one of the learning outcome, which I'm going to show you later, learning outcome for the course for this module is the ability to learn by benchmarking certain leaders, maybe from your industry, how you can emulate or learn from the leaders. At the same time, apply some of the theories related to leadership. Usually when I do like a session in HR or leadership, it tends to be more practical. We go into more hands-on in the organization, case analysis and all that. But since this DBA program is a bit academic in nature, it's more academic, we need to use some theories, some concepts, and some research, because your assignment will involve research. You need to do some research and apply some theories related to leadership or transformational leadership in the context of your organization, as well as in your own transformation as a leader. All right. Now, let me share the slides. We will be going through introduction in a moment. Introduction. Hope all of you are able to see this slide. Okay, good. All right. Remember, this is a course on transformational leadership and change. The code for the course is important because sometimes, okay, not so much for DBA students, but I do find some other students, they get sometimes if the subject title or the name is not there, they get confused with the codes because there are many codes starts with BBM7, BBM. So it's important BBM704. Just remember 4, and the 04 is at the end is the credit hours. For this, all the modules or the courses that you will be going through in session 1 are all 4 credits. Even some of the courses in stage 2. Stage 2 will also be 4 credits. The only course in stage 2 with more than 4 credit is management consultancy with 8 credits. And then when you do your dissertation will be 40 credits. So you need to know that in a DBA program, not only in this DBA program, any DBA program, the dissertation is the main. Dissertation is the main, where 50% of the program is based on the dissertation. The other 40% is the coursework that you are going to do. Usually, from experience that I have seen in this DBA program, many DBA programs that I have been exposed in the past, students mostly will be able to go through stage 1, should not have any problem. But the dissertation will be entirely on them in terms of identifying a clear research area, research problem, coming out with your research objective, research questions, and then you do come out with your research proposal. You need to defend your research proposal. Going through the dissertation takes a bit time, especially if they feel, let's say, a bit demotivated. It will be difficult when you go into that stage. So you need to keep the momentum. Start from your module 1. Continuously you move. After module 1, you go to your module 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means after you completed 6 modules, you have completed the stage 1. Then you go into your management consultancy, and then your 2 research methodology course. And then you move into your dissertation. You will get a basic foundation, strong foundation in research before you start your dissertation. All right, let's start the session with the introduction. Go through an introduction. Okay, first let me introduce myself. My name is Bala Krishnan Muniappan. You can just call me Bala. Well, I don't want to go through very detail about myself. Even if you do a search in Google, my name, you should be able to get some information about myself. My field of specialization is in human resource management, employment law, industrial relations. These are some areas. Actually, I teach in some programs mostly on the employment law and industrial relations. And I do training for organizations specifically in the area of employment law on issues related to termination, dismissal, managing misconduct, domestic inquiry procedures, many of the area that relates to the law, employment laws, especially the current things that you know about the employment law, Employment Act, Industrial Relations Act, and all these. These are my area. But I also do teaching and training in fields on organizational behavior and organizational psychology. So when you are learning the course on transformational leadership, it falls within the area of management, general management, and organizational behavior. Learning about human behavior, changing human behavior at workplace. So experience I have this year, 2023, I have worked for about 30 years. That means I have 3 decades of experience in various fields, in manufacturing, and then in training, consulting, in academia. Have taught in Australian branch campus universities. In the past, for 11 over years, I have taught 2 universities, Australian branch campus. One is Curtin University, and the other one is Swinburne University of Technology. The Swinburne University of Technology based in Sarawak. Also worked in China. That was about 21 years ago, based in Beijing. So experience 30 years, but some of you definitely would have more than 30 years or more, or even more. I'm sure combined experience of all of you can be more than that. Okay. What are they? Okay. Currently, I'm with Wawasan. I've taken a role. Current role at Wawasan is associate professor in human resource management. When the DBA program was first launched in the year 2019, I was assisting as a program coordinator at that particular period of time for about a year before it was taken over by Associate Professor Davis of One, and then the most recent about more than 1 year, about 1 year by Dr. Anbalagan. Okay, that is a brief background about myself. Let me stop share. I think it is better for me to stop share. Let's hear from you. So when you introduce yourself, you want to on your video, it's good you on your video for a while. Later, after once we go through the session, if you want to off your video, you can off your video as long as you are able to follow. That's fine. It is not mandatory. I'm not putting it as a mandatory compulsory for everyone to on their video. Even I might from time to time, if I want to off it, I will off it. Okay, let us start from where shall we start? If I look at the screen on my left hand side, KLRC Lee Kawei is here. Lee Kawei, maybe Kawei, you want to give a brief introduction about yourself so that everyone knows you, because the students who are attending this session not only from one regional center like KLRC, they are also coming from Penang RC. They might also be coming from JBRC. And I also see, do we have a KLG is Klang, right? Not Kuching. Okay, Klang RC. Okay. So a brief introduction. Start with Kawei.
Hi, morning everyone. My name is Kawai. I'm actually currently attached to lift and elevator company. I've been in the industry for about, I think, 13 years. Currently, I'm the head of department for the sales department, and what I experienced in change, actually in one of my previous organization, when I was the general manager, the country head of an MNC, basically the changes happens when there are system change, internal system change, where they change from a lot manual work to more digitization, and then it involves the most of the departments in the organization. That is where the leadership and company organizational change involve. Currently, in my current company, they are changing. They are going for a more digital CRM, the customer relationship management, and most of it is it involves quite a few core departments, and basically this is what the changes that it's going to happen. And inside this course, I hope to see and learn, definitely learn and relearn how I could and improve in this field of organizational change, and of course the leadership change. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kawei. That is a brief introduction from Kawei. Okay, so Kawei, you can also, anybody wants to know about Kawei, you want to ask questions. Okay, you need to meet. We are not meeting physically, face to face here. We are meeting online, but we need to treat like face to face. There must be there should be some interaction. Leadership, one of the things in leadership when you are doing your DBA program is also about networking, creating connection. Okay, very, very important in leadership, especially for maybe things that you can look for common interests, organization, industry, or all that. All right, thank you, Kawe. Now, next to me here is I have Andre. Yes, Andre.
Hi, good morning. My name's obviously Andre. Just as a point of interest, I'm from South Africa, but I don't live there. I live in Malaysia, right? I've been
Okay.
based here for the last 18 years. So I run a medical practice. It's a chiropractic practice. Obviously, as a practitioner, my main field of interest obviously is, kind of my job is in the medical line. But having run a business for the last 18 years in Malaysia, I realized that what's really lacking in what I'm doing is my ability on the business side. So that's the reason I'm here, right? And obviously this course is just perfect because leadership is where it all starts. So I'm hoping that, by starting this first module, it'll just be the kickoff to a perfect program for the rest of the 5 years, hopefully.
All right, thank you. Andre from South Africa, but you have been living in Malaysia for 18 years. That means you are very familiar with Malaysia. You can speak Malay also, right? I think shouldn't be a problem for you.
Sikit.
Sikit, okay. But 18 years you can learn because there are many foreign workers coming, like even from Bangladesh and all that. Within a year around that, they are able to speak fluently, better than some of the Malaysians.
I think this will be a good lesson for me anyway. You see, the difference is those guys really have no choice, right? And when you kind of like have to do something, you just get it done.
Yeah.
Whereas in my case, when I look at my clients in a sense, right, most of them would be English speaking, and there's actually very little reason for me to learn different languages, which kind of made me complacent in a sense.
Yeah.
So I think just as a lesson for us, being everybody obviously working, I think when we look at this program, just treat it like something you have to do.
All right. Thank you, Andre. Now the next I can see from when I look into horizontally on my next to Andre is Jinat. Jinat,
Hi, Doctor.
brief introduction about yourself.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Jeanette. Okay, you can call me G. Okay, to make it easy. All right, I'm a lawyer by profession, and I'm working as a legal advisor for a MNC company in Cyberjaya. My experience in working is like 20 years, dealing with many kind of laws, and regulation in Malaysia. Currently, I'm looking after employment law and industrial relation.
Good.
And also human resource, because it relates to employment law. So for the organization. So in my company, there is currently there is no transformational leadership or any kind of motivation. So I think by attending to this class and this course, hope I can bring more changes to my company. I mean, to the company that I'm working. So hopefully it's a good start for me.
All right, thank you, G. So we call Jinat.
Yes.
Okay, G. Okay, employment law is one of my area because many organizations today, some of them they are not prepared for these changes to the Employment Act. Employment Act, you see, one of the important piece of legislation in Malaysia is Employment Act 1955, which has been amended recently in 2022. Let's say if anyone is operating in Sarawak and Sabah, they are not within the scope of Employment Act because Sarawak and Sabah, they have their own labor ordinance of Sarawak and also Sabah. Employment Act is applicable in Peninsular Malaysia and Federal Territory Labuan. The current in the amendment, Employment Act covers every employees, but only employees with 4,000 and below, there are certain part that they can it is covered for certain section. There are certain sections related to like OT payment, all will be applicable to them. So there are many changes. If you are aware, maybe law is not one of the area that you drew in your in the transformational leadership or the DBA. many benefits, like you have like maternity increase from 60 to 98, you have introduction of paternity. So many employers, not only that, even working hours has been reduced from 48 per week to 45. So many employers are now going through implementation of some of these changes. They have a lot of challenges. They ask a lot of questions. Can we do this? Can we do that? So this is a time usually many they request for advisory. So people like Gina, okay, will be able to provide advisory to companies on the practical implementation of this laws. Okay, thank you, Jean. Okay, next to me is KLRC George. Yep. Hello, George.
Yes. Good morning, Dr. Bala and everyone. Okay. My name is Josh Yap. Can hear?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Okay. Basically, I'm similar with Dr. Bala. Okay. I'm a HR practitioner. Okay. I have basically 25 years of HR experience. And just to tell you, I'm the youngest trade unionist 30 years ago. It was with NUBE. Okay. All right. That's why I realized that the human relation is very interesting. You know, even the sibling, husband and wife, you're working in the same company, you have different opinions. You see? That's why I learned, and basically I'm a so-called pure business graduate degree holder from my BBM704 and the 2009 SEMPA batch, which is the year 3, if I'm not mistaken. So, but somehow because change of the job, I only late graduate than my program mates. I graduate only in 2014 instead of 2012.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So I'm also a member of this MIHRM, and since 2001, where I was a HR junior. 2001. Okay, now I'm ordinary member grade, and also I'm the ordinary member of MIM. Okay, one is 2001, one is 2003. Quite long. Okay, basically I'm the current sector I'm working is I'm the group HR manager with one of the humbly say small developer. Okay, but they also have manufacturing division and energy services. But energy services basically is in Singapore. Okay, and from experience, I'm also similar with Gina also. In terms of employment law and everything, that just to share that beside that attended the IR court, also that 2 years ago, I personally represent the company, but just one enough. Okay, I don't want to spend time write the written submission again. It's okay, it's very time consuming. Okay, I have the access to the law journal for that particular year. We have subscribed. Okay, the law journal. All right. Okay. In fact, the claimant's lawyer was surprised. You know, I'm represent the company instead of a lawyer.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. The case is in the IR court of Ipoh. Okay. So basically, I look at this my experience with 6 public listed company. I've not been working in the MNC, or of course, when I started out, when in year 2001, I was only with one SME industry. But basically, I will say that the leadership in all the PLC, the senior management, I will basically say autocratic, you know, and there's not many participative or consultative type. You know, it don't. My experience is they hardly have any charismatic leadership. All right. So I will tend to what they call that my objective for my outcome for learning this module is, you know, to acquire better that refresh my knowledge in this leadership, you know, and those days in BBA, I understand is how under the OB. Yes, yes, under the OB, of course that we refresh and get in deep, you know, that this transformation leadership and manage to change, and also to share with all my colleagues here in my so-called the last 6 public listed company. The change process basically is so-called that unstructured change, or the most is semi-structural. There will be never a structural change, you know, very sad to say that. And some of the change are not even systematically planned. So there's some disaster and employee dissatisfaction, and even the morale of the staff will get affected during that particular year.
Okay.
Okay, this is all from me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, George.
Yes.
George is also a HR guy, HR practitioner. You mentioned you are from the trade union, from the NUBE. Okay.
Yes.
NUBE is one of the strongest union in terms financially. Okay. You need to know the unions in Malaysia are divided. Currently, if you look into membership of unions, less than I can say less than 10% of the workforce belong to a union currently. If you look into the membership, union membership. Yes, George.
Okay, Doctor, just to tell you, in mid of 90s, I was told that the statistic, I still remember this statistic, you know, the percentage of the unionized employee and the percentage of the people who brought the life insurance in Malaysia is same 10%.
10%.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
correct.
The figure is not really significantly increased for the last 20 over years or last 25 years.
It remains the same. It remains the same. That's why I can say I don't have exact statistics, but I can tell you that it is less than 10. One of the reasons is that the Trade Unions Act itself makes it very difficult for a union to be strong. Because if you look at the Trade Unions Act 1959, the definition of trade union is any association or combination of employees or workmen or employers either in Peninsula, Sarawak, Sabah, in any particular trade, occupation or industry. But geographically, they are divided. They are divided according to industry, according to occupation, according to trade. And there are many restrictions for the union to become strong. So, and then there are many activities that employers will do to bust the union as well. There are many cases. So that's a different topic altogether when you go into trade unions, but the interesting area to study about trade unions in HR. All right. Thank you. Thank you, George. And there's something that you talked about that relates to leadership, which we will be discussing about authoritarian leadership, directive leadership. Directive leadership that are being practiced by many MNCs, even GLCs, many, they are very directive if you go through. Thank you, George. Okay, the next person, the one next to George is Klang RC, Klang from Klang, Kong Chi An. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Kong.
Good morning, everyone. Kong. Okay. Basically, currently, I'm doing my own business in industrial hardware. Before this, I have been in the IT line for about 15 years, doing ERP system and post system for retail shop and F&B industry. Okay, so the reason I'm taking this DBA is because the current business we are trying to expand into more retail outlet, so we'll be having branches. Then I hope this course will help to guide me through some of the leadership.
Okay, good. First area that you're going to learn about understanding the organizational leadership environment, your own leadership potential. Okay, we're going to explore some of this within this course.
Okay,
thank you. How do I address you, Kong or Chi An?
Kong will do. Kong.
Kong. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
All right. So the next row that I can see here is we have Tam Waikit.
Hey, hi, morning, Doctor. Morning, everyone. Right.
Yes.
My name is Tom. Right. You can call me Vincent. Right.
Okay.
I'm working with a foreign bank, right, which has recently sold part of their business to a Singapore bank. I have been working in the banking industry for close to 27 years, right?
Okay.
Of which that I have another few years in smaller SMEs, and I've been around. I also have been working in China, in Shanghai, for a very short stay back in 2017.
Okay.
The outcome that from this course is that as leadership, I have managed quite a big team, right? Especially in China, because I'm managing the eastern region of China, right? I'm more to real estate management. I find that currently where I'm working is that there's a lack of structural leadership, and in terms, right, like what you say, that people tend to have their own mindset and they're all over the place. So it's more like we try to make it a transformation leadership, but there are people who need to have directive kind of quality. Not everybody can, not one size fits all, I find. So I find it very tough to manage a team who have different background, different experience, and different in terms of contribution, right? So this is definitely come at the right time. 2023 is a new start for us. Hopefully that I will learn something that able to apply back into my working place, so that we can be a very more productive and effective year in 2023. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, you focus the last part, very important part, the application. Okay, at the end of the day, if you can do a lot of ounce of practice is better than tons of theories, a lot of theories. But we can't run away from theories, because at the DBA is an academic, we will go through some theories related to leadership, especially like evolution of leadership, and various theories will be covered in this course. Thank you, Tam. The one next, I think now Tam moves down. I can see Vinny is there. Vinny Chiang.
Hi, morning, everybody. I'm Winnie Chiang. I'm from hospital industry. I work in one of the hospital in Ipoh, Hospital Fatima. It's actually not-for-profit private hospital. We have been there for 40 years. I've been attached with that organization for almost 12 years as a HR manager. We have unionized hospital there for 30 years. So I'm managing the HR spectrum. Like I think Dr. Bala would be very helpful, because you are also in the HR. And now I met some of the HR practitioners like Josh. Know you all will be good. So we are in the same line. Actually, the challenges that I face in the hospital line is our managers now, I see that they are still very bossy kind of managers lah. They are surely like managing like those olden days, yelling what I say you need to do. They didn't really explain what's the needs, and what actually they don't know how to touch the people's heart. So the staff there is just like a robot. You tell me to do some willing to do by heart or by God, they think, oh, they do their job, but basically they don't know the meaning of why they do it. So the link is not there lah, and they don't understand the generation. They have generation gap also. I feel that they don't understand the new generation, so they are managing in the old way. When I sign up this course, the first one I look at the course chapter. This course, the first one is the one Transformational Leadership. This is the one that I want to pick, but luckily the course already picked for me. This is what I wish to learn from this course, is to become a transitional leader lah. Not those days, transactional leaders is old already. We have to move to transformational leaders. So I have to equip myself to teaching the leaders, that my managers, how to manage the new group, so they be able to capture the emotional, so the workers will be willing to do and taking actions and move forward for the direction of the organization. This is what I hope from the course. Yeah.
All right, thank you. You have given an introduction where you have looked into some of the key components that we are going to cover in this course: transactional leadership, transformational leadership. In 1978, there was a book written by James McGregor Burns. The title of the book is Transforming Leadership. In that book, he coined the term transformational leadership or transforming leadership. He made a distinction between two different types of leadership. One is transactional leadership. The other one is transformational leadership. So of course, in this course, one of the main components we are going to look into transactional and transformational leadership. And then another important thing that from your introduction you mentioned is that generation gap. There is a growing field in leadership research is about, one of the field is that intergenerational leadership. Generation at workplace. Today, generations, you will find about 5 different generations at workplace. So we might still have traditionalists. Traditionalists means those who have been born before the World War. Some of them still in the organization. They may be holding a senior directorship in a board of directors. Their age now might be, if they are born in the year, let's say, before the World War, their age must be in late 70s. We still have. And then we have the baby boomers. Baby boomers were born after the World War up to 1966. Baby boomers. Baby boomers are all in senior management or directors, similar to the traditionalists. Then we have Generation X. I belong to Generation X. Generation X is those who born after 1967 to somewhere mid of 1977, end of 1977. Generation X. Then you have Generation Y, those who are born late 1970s to late 1990s. Then you have the millennials. They call it Generation the Z. The Americans call the Z or millennials. Millennials already at the workplace. So you see how many generations? 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 generations can be at the workplace. And most of the time you find the values, the leadership style of a traditionalist and the current generations can be completely different. They are more authoritarian in nature, more directive. They want people to listen. Whereas the current generation, the millennials, will not listen. They have their own opinion. So this is also a field in study about leadership. People do studies about intergenerational leadership. If you go and do a search about intergenerational leadership, there have been many research that has been done. Leadership across generation. Although in transformational leadership, we will not be going in on that, but we can discuss some of the different what they call leadership styles, leadership behavior of people from different generations. Thank you to Winnie. Okay, the next person I have here is Cik Nurliza.
Hi, Dr. Bala and everyone. Good morning. Okay, actually, I'm an alumni from Wawasan Open University. So firstly, I take my degree on the BTech. Then I continue my Chamba in Wawasan also. Now I'm interested in taking DBA also continue. So
which year you did your Samba?
December only I complete my project. So even I'm not yet graduate yet for my Chamba.
Okay,
so
you have completed. You see, the entry one is a requirement. You need to check again with your regional office. DBA entrance must have completed the degree before enrollment. I think you check with your regional office for this.
Yes, I completed.
Yeah.
Yes,
completed.
Actually, I completed my Chamba. And we got the CGPA also. Once the CGPA
okay,
release,
once you have that, then it is okay.
Correct,
then it's
correct,
okay.
correct. So, okay, actually, I'm from banking industry field. So I have 15 years experience on banking. So basically what I'm doing is we are doing the software testing. Okay, software testing means we are doing the SIT and UAT testing, which is system integrated testing and user acceptance testing. So 10 years I worked on the Citibank side, which is Citigroup transaction in the Menara Noda. Now I'm working in KL under one of the software company for the UOB banking, still the same field. So here I'm doing more to the project management. So I think this course will be very helpful for me because it will teach me how to influence my team members. As a leader and managing, since I'm managing a lot of projects under the UOB departments.
All right, you're from Penang, huh?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. Nurliza also have experience from banking industry. There are a few others from banking industries here. All right, thank you. We move on to Go. Hello, Go.
Good morning, Dr. Bala.
Good morning.
Go from Penang. Yeah, actually, I hold a degree in public management, which was like many years back in 1997 in UUM.
Is it public administration?
No, public management.
Oh, public management. Okay.
Yeah, in UUM. And then after that, after doing this course, I actually started my internship in one of the most popular speakers company, doing training, conducting training, seminars, workshops for institutions and corporations. And after I did my internship there, I continued to work as a trainer. And then I have chance to go to many multinational company in China, Indonesia, and in Malaysia, okay, giving training, soft skills training like leadership, motivation, performance excellence, total team power, okay, to help the organization, and then to build the leadership of the participants, to make sure they can bring out the best of they can help to bring out the best in your team members. After that, I actually pursue my master's in UPM. I did master's in guidance and counseling. Okay. Reason why I want to take this course is because I think I want to gain more knowledge. I want to do something for myself, because like what doctors said, in order for us to change people around us, we need to change ourselves first. Because we believe that for things to change, I must change first. Then only we can influence and affect the people around us. We cannot change people, but we can use the knowledge that we gain, okay, from books, from our gurus, like from doctors in the universities. Okay, after we learn the new knowledge, we can take the knowledge and we can influence the people around us. Okay, so I think that leader is very crucial in any of the organization. And then for myself, I wish that after I learn this course, I can change my old mindset to new mindset. And I would like to gain more knowledge about transformational leadership, but not transactional leader. Okay. And I wish that after I learn this course, I would be able to change my the way I see things, and I would be able to be the master of change in my organization.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Go. Go is good to hear that Go is also a trainer, a leadership trainer. Definitely this course will be useful for you. In fact, you can even contribute to the learning of this session by sharing your experience, especially when you look at leadership at the different industry that you have, different industry, different organization, different countries that you have conducted trainings. And of course, one of the important thing here is to look into how we move. Okay, how we move. Let's say if we have a current style of leadership, it is more transactional in nature. How do we move from transactional to transformational? Looking into what type of transformation that you want to go, that you want to develop. Maybe you look into the time frame. This year 2023, in 5 years from now 2028, where are you going to be? How are you going to get there? What do you need to do in order to get there? These are some of the things that we will be exploring. Okay, of course, in training we tend to focus more on practical, hands-on, but in this course we will be looking into some of the theories and application of theories. Okay, and the most important part is that in this course is self-learning. This course involves a lot of self-learning, where when you start to do your assignment is that you need to look into journal articles. I can guide you on that. Now, when it comes, maybe the later part of today, maybe the first part or the second part after the lunch, when I go through, I will go through the guidance on how do we do the assignment component. Okay. All right. Thank you to go. The next person here I can see is Mano. Hello, Mano.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Manu.
Yeah.
I'm from construction field. So I
construction. Okay.
A construction field. I've been as a construction manager, one of the publicly listed company in Malaysia. So I continue my journey with WOU, start from undergraduate, postgraduate, now continue my DBA. The purpose of DBA, I'm studying, I want to explore my more knowledge. I don't want to drop my momentum.
Yep.
And then I don't want to waste my time. So unnecessary things. So then this course is a very, very important, because I'm every day facing many contractors, subcontractors, supplier, because their attitude are different. When I approach them, very difficult. Maybe this theory of what I'm learning, maybe I can guide them so I can be more polite with them. That's a doctor.
All right. Okay. Mano is from construction industry, also graduated from WOU. Okay, SEMBA, right? You did SEMBA. Construction management, sorry, construction MBA in construction management. Okay. All right. You are continuing just after completion of your MBA. All right. Yes. Good to hear that. Thank you, Mano. All right. The next person I can see here is Lau Pei Pei. Can you hear me? Yes. You need to unmute. We can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Lau, or you can call me Jane. So I have my first degree with USM, and now I have finished my SEMBA 2 years ago. Then started the DBA last year. For my experience background, majority, I would say over 10 years plus, I was in FMCG, more in product development. Then the recent 5 to 6 years, I'm in furniture industry, running project management for the regional field. So for me, this transformation leadership is quite interesting, because it gives me an overview of what the theory is talking about. Basically, most of my job involved in change management, because I'm into most of the structural change, new departments, set up new department. I have to deal with a lot of leadership. So what is most interesting right now is for my current company, which is a US-based company, over 100 years. There are many VPs that is close to 70s, are very laissez-faire type of leadership style. And we have a recent change in presidents and CEO, a lady president. She comes with a very different styles of leadership. So this course will help me to put her into the picture. Does it play well in the transformation for a company that is close to 100 years? And it's interesting. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Pei Pei. Also, I have this is your what's the number of modules you have already completed? What are the modules you have completed so far? Courses?
Corporate governance.
Okay.
Then supply chain management.
Okay, this is your third course.
The third one. Yes.
Okay, corporate governance. Okay, that means you have experienced the you see in our DBA, each term lasts for only 2 months. Yeah. So it's time management is very crucial.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think DBA has changed my mindset towards the DBA. I actually come in DBA quite worried how will be the work what do you call the assignment load. As comparing to Chamba, I think DBA is quite manageable. Yes.
The reason is that once you have completed, you move on into the next one. So
Yes.
within a short period of time, the most important part is completion of assignment on time. I think you have experience, and then for many of you who are new, the experience, we have an experienced person who have already gone through 2 modules. Okay, 2 modules, which will be very quickly, you will move to the next stage. Thank you, Pepe. All right. Next, I have here from the name Lingam. Hello, Mr. Lingam.
Hello, doctor. Good
Hello.
morning.
You
Good
are
morning,
at the
doctor.
stadium. Okay.
No, doctor, I'm at home
At
doing my
home.
pongal
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Happy Pongal.
Good.
Okay, so I'm actually same like Mano, attached to the construction industry
Okay.
for the past 20 years. 20 to 20 now is 24 years, I think. So from I was graduated my degree from architecture in UTM, and I continue my MBA CM in Wawasan, and graduated in year 2020 during the COVID time. And now I'm continuing my DBA here. So basically my work actually a construction, I'm a project manager managing the big high-rise building in KLCC. So we have to manage the subcons, the clients, and also the our consultants as well as the workers. So it's a difficult task where we need traits of leadership important. You have a natural born leader and also some who transform as a leader. So the traits are very important in becoming a leader. So that's why I'm joining this interesting so-called course. It's a leadership course. It's very important to all the DBA students who are going to graduate. So that's all on me, doctor. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Lingam. One of the things that you mentioned about born or made leaders. This debate has been going on for centuries.
Yes,
leaders
correct.
born or made. It's a combination. Actually, the extent to which they are born and made can be debated. But study shows that we can train. But there are certain traits needs to be there for a leader. These are some of the things that we will be exploring in this course. Okay, thank you to Lingam, who is also in construction industry. Okay, the next one, I think we have few more. That is Pang Li Ying. Hello, Pang.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Good morning, Dr. Bala and everyone. You can call me Eileen. I'm
okay.
an alumni of WOU. I'm graduate from WOU in year 2016, Master of Education.
Okay.
So I have been working in the private sector for about 20 years. So currently I am working in an educational institution and also a head of department in one of the core divisions. So I have been involving in the operational in the company I work for. So I hope I can get knowledge from the DBA to implement creative, practical solutions in my organizations, because I need to deal with many people in a day, many levels of people. So all this while, I am a transformational leader, but I think I should improve as a transactional leader too. So I think this is a norm for many Malaysia companies. That's all. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Like what she says, a norm for Malaysian companies, many Malaysian, not only Malaysian company, many organization, transactional. Now, what is transactional? What is transformational? We will be learning. But in a nutshell, I can tell you, transactional means it's like you provide something in order to get something else. Okay, the leader will lead the followers based on his reward power, cohesive power, and legitimate power. People follow a leader because the leader can either reward them, or if they fear the leader due to punishment or due to his position. That is transactional. Okay, in order to get something, you need to give something. There is something like a transaction between a leader and a follower. Transformational leaders are different. Transformational leaders, they lead based on their charismatic power. They lead on their referent power. They lead on their what they call expert power. People, whether they get reward or they don't get a reward, they like the leader so much. They like the leader's personality. They just follow the leader. Whatever the leader say, they follow. Some people blindly follow a leader because that leader has that ability, that the leader actually transformed them. They had their what they call, they are fascinated by the leader, personality, charisma. So we're going to look into some of those parts later on. Of course, you need both transaction. There are times you need to be transactional, there are times, but most of the time, if you exhibit more transformational leaders, you'll be able to get more people in terms of commitment, job satisfaction. There are many studies that has been done in the field of leadership, especially this transactional and transformational leadership, that as you go through in your assignment, you will be looking into it. Especially you need to look at how you are going to be a transformational leader by emulating a leader. Okay, by taking a leader, example of a leader, how do you go about developing yourself? These are the things that we will be looking at later. Thank you, Yiling. Okay, we have Bile, Tan Bile. Hello, Bile. Okay.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, actually, I've been in this property development industry for about over 25 years of in this industry. Yeah, actually, I'm more involved in the initial part of the property development, whereby I'm tasked to look for land to develop, and then I'll carry out some feasibility study to find out if the project is viable, and to conduct some investigation on the surrounding property development to see if this project is viable. So actually, I'm more involved in the strategic like decision making and the technical part, and not very much involved in the human resource part. But I think maybe from this course I'll learn more in this how to be to get involved or get interactive with people, so that probably next time I'll be involved in this manager or anything to deal with the human part. Yeah, that's all from my today.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vile. Vile is from property industry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We do have some other students, not from your class, but there are others also in property related area, property market, property related areas who are studying in our DBA. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now next we have two more. That is we have Mok Yong Yao. Hello, Mok.
Good morning, Dr. Bala and everyone.
Yep.
All right. My name is Mok Yong Yao. You can call me Yong Yao, or most of the time people call me Mok. It's easier to be called. Right. I'm from Kuching. I'm just living next to Swinburne University, Dr. Bala.
Yep, you are from Kuching. Okay, good.
Yes.
I have worked at Swinburne University, year 2008 to 2013. I was in Sarawak for about many years, about 11 over years. Miri and also in Kuching.
Yeah, good to know that.
Are you staying in Kuching?
I'm staying in this Jalan Wang Alwi.
Same. I was also staying in Jalan Wang Alwi. I was staying at Floridel.
We are neighbor. We're just nearby.
You're nearby. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good to see you here. This is my first course. In fact, I just enrolled this week, few days ago, and I missed yesterday orientation because I was traveling from Jakarta back to Kuching yesterday.
Okay.
So, good to see you here. I'm from healthcare industry. I graduated as audiologist. For information, I practiced as an audiologist for my first 20 years of career, meaning I do hearing assessment for adults and also for children. If I diagnose them with hearing impairment, or fit them with hearing aid, or some may need cochlear implant. So along the way, actually I picked up my MBA 14 years ago. So, and I started this company called 20dB. It's actually my own company. I founded the company. Now it's already 20 years. So my experience, beside clinical audiologist, I also have experience in strategic management, entrepreneurship, a little bit in HR, because I have to deal with a lot of people in my company. At the moment, we have 120 staff, and we have branches, 28 branches in Malaysia, or at all the major cities in Malaysia. So the reason I enrolled to this DBA is after 14 years, I think I need to learn new knowledge to be applied to my company, and to also to get some insight from the rest of you in different industry. And I also noted in particular to the people management, the HR side, today's staff, the newer staff is different from the older generation, especially Gen Z, just how Dr. Bala mentioned. So like for example, in my company, the new staff, they would like to stay nearby to their house. They don't want to go far away to work. And they tend to ask, what can I get instead of what can I do for the company? Yeah. So I guess for me is I hope to gain more knowledge and apply it to my company. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Okay, we have one more, that is Ong Layman. Hello. All right. Okay. Yep. Yep.
So I'm the last one.
Yes.
Okay. I'm now leading a team. Okay. So dealing with many different people in the workplace. Different people.
Not so clear. Okay.
Is it better now?
Okay.
Dealing with different people is one of the hardest part. Basically, my job doesn't relate to much of the human resource. Okay, I'm dealing with every staff and managers, students, and parents. I had my BBA in 2006 and obtained my master in education from UTM. I have been in the education field for about 20 years, self-employed and being employed now. So now, after so many years, I think that I'm again taking courses related to business, practicing what I have learned before. And I still remember that HR resource was the best subject during the MBA time. So I hope through learning this course, I wish to enhance my management leadership skills, credibility, and demonstrate confidence in business to advance my personal and professional goals. So besides achieving my personal academic goals, I believe obtaining DBA will empower me to contribute significantly to my career businesses across the different industry, and expand my capability, and I'm more ready to embrace the opportunities available. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Layman. I will beat like 70% around there because there was some echo somewhere when you were speaking, but it is okay. It is okay. I'm able to catch around 70% of what you said. Okay, good to join this session. All right, thank you everyone for your introduction. It is good that you all know each other. You all are in the group, okay? Feel free to communicate any matters related to the course, any matters related to leadership. From time to time, I will share some information or journal articles. I can do it in the LMS, but in the past, what I have seen is that whenever I post in the LMS, hardly people go into the LMS. They go to the LMS only to get in their course materials, their assignments. But I'm sure some of you who have been doing our SEMBA, MBA, you had your own class group where you had discussions which are more in the class WhatsApp group rather than the LMS or even the FlexLearn. So I will be sharing whatever I share in a FlexLearn, I will also post it in the group so that you will be will be able to receive it quickly. Okay, now let me go into the overview what we are going to do today. In session 1, if possible, we will be able to complete the entire content. As far as possible, the content, I will not be going into that detail, like how we teach in an undergraduate program or even some MBA program where you have much more longer contact hours. So I will be going into some of the core areas that you need to know that will provide you with a guide to explore transformational leadership and change. But of course, at the first stage, I'm going to guide you, not necessarily complete guidance, but give you an overview picture of the expectations of your course assignment, which I can do partly, part of it, I can do it during the morning session. Another part maybe in the afternoon session. Now, this is for your session 1. Now, for your session 2, there will not be teaching, but it will be mainly presentation. Session 2 is just going to be presentation. But let me tell you that on that particular date, 12, I have already, I'll be away. There is a date given here. That is if you look into the calendar, I'm on leave actually during that particular week, and I will be away. And this program is before the DBA calendar came. Okay, so February 12th, I'll be away. So we can do sessions earlier than February 12th or after February 12th. But if you are going to do after February 12th, 19 is going to be your submission of your final assignment. So maybe later we can discuss about it, how we are going to do. One possibility is that I can, because it is just going to be presentation. Okay, one possibility is that I'm not going to fix a specific date, but I'm going to meet each one of you before 12th of February or after 15th of February. I will be back on the 15th of February. 10th of February to 15th of February, my flight has yet to be booked. It will be arranged by the organizer. I'll be away outside, overseas. So I'll be back in Malaysia on the 15th. I will leave Malaysia leave Penang on the 10th. We'll be back on the 15th. So I can either do before 10th of February or after 15th of February. I will just need to meet you for your presentation, and this meeting is just going to be for 20 to 30 minutes. Your presentation, you can take time 15 to 20 minutes. And then if there are any questions or anything, we can look into that within 30 minutes. So I will just need 30 minutes of your time. And each one of your presentation is going to be recorded and it will be shared with the rest of the group. And we can do any discussion on any questions or whatever in the group itself. So I'm looking into this possibility in case if we are not able to do any days earlier than 12th of February, because I know on the 5th of February it is Thaipusam, which is a public holiday. If it is a 5th is a Thaipusam, 6th is public holiday, but again I don't want to. Even some of you might be working even in public holiday. I'm not sure, but we can discuss about it later. Second half of the session, we can discuss possible ways how we are going to do the seminar 2. And the seminar 2 is just going to be the presentation part of your assignment. Okay. These are the things that we will be looking at in this session. We will be doing this session morning 9 to 12. I will give you a break later, 15 minutes break. And then the afternoon session will be from 2 to 5. So I'm going to give you a break. Lunch break will be about 2 hours. And then 2 to 5 will be the afternoon session. Now it is important when you enroll for any course in this DBA program, not only in a DBA program, even when you attend any training programs, whatever that you do, you need to know clearly why you are doing it. What is the purpose? Now in a DBA, the entire DBA program, you have what is known as the program learning outcome. Okay, if you go through our DBA program, when you started your orientation and all, definitely the program coordinator would have provided you, would have briefed you about the purpose of the DBA, why you are taking this DBA, what is the expected outcome of the DBA. In the same way, every course that you are taking, every module will have certain outcome to be achieved. That is called the learning outcome or the course learning outcome. And for this module on transformational leadership and change, there are 4. Because your assignment that you are going to do will assess you on these 4 areas. Now, what are the 4 learning outcomes? Number 1, building personal awareness on reflection on your leadership competency, especially transformational leadership competencies. Then the other one is that you should be able to acquire and understand some of the emerging transformational leadership issues and also change management issues based on what you see in theory and practice. That's why some of the parts of our course will still be going into some theories about leadership. And then identify and evaluate applicability of the transformational leadership and change management to various business contexts. Like, for example, last 3 years, we have witnessed changes, massive transformation worldwide. COVID-19, we all aware, everyone was affected. Well, every one of us were affected by COVID-19. Organizations were affected. A lot of changes that have taken place in the organization. All of a sudden, a lot of things that we have not thought about in the past, we have to think about it now. Even if you look into how the learning have been transformed. Before COVID, the DBA class, how it was done was that we used to run at 3 different RCs in Penang, in KL, and also in JB with 3 different facilitators. At that time, I appoint a facilitator in Penang, in KL, and then I had to fly to JB to conduct a class. And we had the students, they have enough student numbers, about 15 of them, 15 to 20, in fact, in each session, in session. But after that, what happened? After that, the second year, that is 2021, okay, that the first year I did on January and February. At that time, there was no lockdown yet, 2020, but March lockdown started. So after that, we all have to do it online. Many of us, we did through what they call the Microsoft team. I tend to use Zoom because I have my own Zoom account. Okay, so you have to do it online. Now many of you have. Okay, now many of you are familiar with online learning. Okay, so there have been change. So we learn about this, some of the issues, how the organization transform, how the transformation can take place. And then the third one is that analyze current transformational leadership and change with the existing theory and application. We are consultancy project in your organization. You need to look into your organizational based leadership. That's what we're going to do it in your assignment. Okay. So the first part is important for you to understand about this topic on leadership. Okay, the topic of leadership is a very interesting topic to explore. We all hear about leadership. We all hear, no, many of us talk about leadership. It's not necessarily leadership in organization. We talk about leadership in politics, leadership in a community, leadership in a society. I can tell you that in a PhD in the field of management, leadership is one of the most researched topic. You want to do a study about leadership, you want to look for literatures on leadership, many literatures are available. So many literatures on leadership. And that's why it is said one of the most research area within the field of business and management. Not even business and management. One of the most research area even in the area of politics. Even when you do a studies about political science, you still have to look into leadership. Leadership component is an important component in a political science. Those who do studies in behavioral science, politics is one of the area. So it's important for us to understand how the study of leadership has evolved. Currently, we can come into, you get familiarized with many concepts in leadership. It's not just transformational leadership. You might even come across servant leadership, transcendental leadership, not even transformational, transcendental leadership, situational leadership. Many models, many theories are there. And a study about leadership, theories of leadership have evolved since 19th century, 18th century, 19th century. People have done studies about leadership. And over the years, there has been many theories about leadership, many theories. But one of the things, very crucial thing that you need to remember about leadership, it is about people. Human resources. It's about people. Leadership is not about machines, materials, methods, markets, or money, but leadership is about people, because in HR, many of you are from, some of you are in the field of HR will know it's the people who makes the difference. At the end of the day, it is the people. That's why this is a statement from Dale Carnegie. Now, if you are not familiar with who is Dale Carnegie, you can do a search. There have been many works by Dale Carnegie, even books written by Dale Carnegie. So Dale Carnegie says, when you deal with people, when you are dealing with people, you need to remember that you are not dealing with creatures of logic. At times when you want to talk to them logically, rationally, many things will not get into them. They are mostly creatures of emotion. When you study an area within leadership that is called emotional intelligence, I'm sure some of you might be familiar with emotional intelligence. Daniel Coleman has written extensively in the field of emotional intelligence and leadership. Emotional intelligence is just one of the intelligence. You have behavioral intelligence, physical. You have intellectual quotient or intellectual intelligence, intellectual, IQ. You have EQ, that is emotional intelligence. Then you have spiritual intelligence. There are many fields, intelligence. I think we have someone coming from the Master in Education. In the field of education, Howard Gardner have done studies in what is called multiple intelligence. Remember or not? Someone just now had come from the field of education. Can you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. Howard Gardner. Gardner have done studies in the field of multiple intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the field. We have two minds, rational mind, emotional mind. So most of the time, the leaders have to focus on emotion. When they are able to capture the emotion, because the decision that people make mostly are influenced by emotion. These are confirmed by many studies. Although we have rational mind, we don't decide based on rationality, but we tend to decide more on the emotion. Those in the field of psychology, the rational mind is more of the cognitive, your thought process. The emotional one is more on the affective domain, that is a feeling process, feeling part of the mind. Thought and the feeling. The feeling influences more. People make most decisions based on emotion. This has been confirmed in many studies. That's why emotional intelligence, a leader with good emotional intelligence tends to be very successful. And in a study of emotional intelligence, if you go into the literature, there are 4 important quadrants according to Daniel Kahneman. One is self-awareness. A good self-awareness will enable you to manage yourself well. Then from self-awareness, you move into the next quadrant, that is self-management. Then you have awareness of other people, awareness of people around you, awareness of your superior, your subordinate, your peers, your family members. So when your social awareness is good, then your relationship management will be better. This component, according to Daniel Kahneman, is part of social intelligence. You have the other part that is called social intelligence. Whatever I say, if you do some search, more search, you can find a lot of materials within the field of emotional intelligence and social intelligence. In fact, I can go in more to quote for you with many studies. Mayer and Salovey also have done extensive studies in the field of emotional intelligence. Transformational leadership. When we talk about development of transformational leadership of our subordinates or ourselves, we need to remember it is not just a destination. Nobody can say, I have reached a stage that I consider myself as a transformational leader because I have transformed, because the leadership itself or the life itself is a journey. Of course, everyone reaches a certain destination at the end, but the development itself is a journey, not just a destination. So years ago, in the 90s, when people were talking about the concept of quality, total quality management, TQM used to be a very popular buzzwords. They say that quality is a journey, not a destination. No way you can say ours is the best. We have reached the desired quality. There's always an improvement, continuous improvement. The Japanese calls it kaizen. Okay, coming to leadership. Now let me stop share for a moment. Okay, you tell me, when you hear leadership, what comes to your mind? What are the things that comes to your mind when you hear the word leadership? So in pemimpin, or we call lingtao, or we call, in Tamil we call தலைவர், or in any other language, whatever, all the language you have, they give emphasis to the leader. Lingtao in Mandarin is called Lingtao, correct, if I'm not mistaken. In Vietnam also they call it almost similar, Lindao, it is called in Vietnam. Because I do a session in Vietnam, they use that term for a leader. Anyone, in any language you have, when you hear leader, no, wherever you go, when you, yes, Josh.
In my simple, okay, actually, I read somewhere many years ago. So it's so-called leadership is getting things done through people.
Okay, getting things done through people. Even management is getting things done through people, we call. But in the literature, there are a lot of distinction that you can draw between what is management, what is leadership. Warren Benny says that management is getting things done through people, correct? Management is more about efficiency. Leadership is more about effectiveness. And when you do a search about efficiency and effectiveness, it says that efficiency means doing things right, whereas effectiveness is doing the right things. There are distinctions that you can draw. What is leadership? What is management? Anybody else wants to share their perspective, meaning of leadership before we go into transformation? Yes, Yiming? Yes.
Leadership to me is someone who can not only bring him or herself to the vision and mission of the company or any of the goals that they have set for the department or for the organization itself, but also bring together all the team members towards the same direction in the shortest time possible.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Some of the keywords she mentioned. One of the keywords she mentioned about vision, direction. Leaders is the one who creates a direction. Vision, people want to know where they are, where they need to go, where the organization is now, where the organization wants to go. When we focus on leadership, strategic leadership is about making a decision. Where the company is now, where are we going? How are we going to get there? Why are we going there? What do we need to do in order to get there? That is about vision. Vision means where, direction. Mission refers to why do we exist? What's the purpose of the company? Every company, you as a leader of a company must chart the direction. That's your vision. Vision is a direction. Where do you want to go? 5 years from now, 10 years from now? If you're a CEO, you need to have a direction. And people must also know the direction of the company. You need to communicate the direction of the company to your people. And then, why do you want to go there? That is your mission. Mission means, why do we exist? What is the purpose? Purpose of existence. Mission. Mission means, why do we exist? Now, in order to achieve the vision and mission, that means where and why, you need to look into what do you need to do. That becomes your goals. Goals means what do you need to do in order to achieve the mission or vision or mission. And then you need to also look into strategy. Strategy is your game plan. How are you going to achieve it? How? Strategy is always how. Goals is always what. What do we need to do? Strategy is how are we going to do it? And then from strategy, you will have action plans. And action plans, very important, especially the implementation. When are you going to do? Who is responsible? So when you plan strategically, you need to know vision, mission, goals, strategies, action plan. These are all crucial tasks of a leader. Any leader. You can be leader, can be at every level. Leader can be at the top organizational level, CEO, MD, then a middle management, whether you are looking into functional level, marketing, HR, operation, finance. Then a leader can even be at the supervisory level, but most of you are at either middle or higher level management. You make a decision. Leaders make decision. Okay, anybody else wants to share? When they hear leadership, things that comes to their mind.
Winnie here. Leaders is the one who are capable to inspire people to take actions to present a positive outcome, to move along with the organization's goals, mission and visions. This is what my understanding.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Winnie. Okay, leaders. Okay, very important that as what you have mentioned is that the term inspirational comes into inspire people. Leadership is not only about inspiration. It's not only about ability of the person to inspire, but also to motivate, to transform, to direct, to influence. Many words that can be used to describe leaders or leadership. Because why I'm asking you this is that when you go into the literature in the field of leadership, you will come across hundreds of definitions, different ways how people define leadership. How people define leadership. Leadership is the ability. Leadership actually is an ability. You can look into ability. You know, it's based on various literatures like it's not only about inspiring people, mobilizing people, motivating people, directing people, influencing people. Many words that you can use, okay, to replace. Whether if you don't want to use inspiring people, you also use our topic that is transforming people, mobilizing people. That is actually the most important thing is that ability. The key word we use is that leadership is the ability to empower people. Empower, inspire, motivate, mobilize, drive people. Now, that ability, how we acquire it? How is it acquired? How people become leader? How that ability is being acquired? Is it inborn? They are born with it? Is it nature? Or they have been trained? Is it by training? Is it by situation? So the leadership actually sometimes at times can be due to situation. Situational leadership also exists. So it's important to research that ability, where that ability comes. Ability comes within, more within than more inside out rather than outside in. Okay, you need to focus. The ability are more inside out. Inside out means based on the individual belief, values, attitudes, motivation. Okay, one of my field, apart from employment law, organizational psychology, is also neuro-linguistic programming, because I have been trained in the field of NLP or neuro-linguistic. If you are not familiar with what NLP or neuro-linguistic programming, you can do a search, you can find some information about what is neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, I don't want to go detail into that, but I just want to say you in a nutshell, it's about you. It starts with you, your mindset. Some of you mentioned about the mindset. There are people who have a fixed mindset. There are people who have a growth mindset. There are people who are comfortable in a comfort. They are happy to be in a comfort zone. There are people who wants to move out from the comfort zone. So it's more inside out rather than outside in. So when I say inside out means a belief system. First is your belief system. Each and every one of you have your own belief system. Do you know what is a belief system? Certain things that you program in your mind. Many things that you do, you are not able to go beyond a certain level, certain limit is due to the programming of your mind. Let me give you an example. Anybody here who runs half marathon or marathons? Anybody who runs here? Who are any runners here? Okay, anybody who have been following events, sports events, running, for example, running. Back in the year 1950s, if you do a search, you will come across this name called Roger Bannister. If you search, you will come across Roger Bannister was the first man who managed to break 4 minutes for a mile. You know, 1 mile, if you calculate in kilometer, is 1.6 kilometer. 1 mile. Before Roger Bannister broke the 4 minutes barrier, people have the belief system that has been programmed in them that no human can break 4 minutes for 1 mile. Nobody can break 4 minutes, impossible. That's not going to happen. Nobody can break. This was a thought. No runners able to break the 4 minutes. But when Roger Bannister ran, you can do a search about Roger Bannister. In late 1950s, when he ran 3 minutes 59, he broke the 4 minute barrier. After he broke the 4 minute barrier, many runners able to break the 4 minute barriers. Now, if people are able to run 1 mile in 3 minutes 40 something. If you look into the current world records, if you can do a search, you will know that. Why in the beginning they are not able? Because of the belief system. The belief system is from where? Belief system that comes within you. The belief system is from you. The mind attracts. You see, again, if I relate to NLP, you might even come across a law of attraction. Have you come across law of attraction? You attract what you think. Your thoughts based on your belief, it attracts you. Actually, not only law of attraction, there are many more I can share. Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich. You might have come across this book, might have heard about this book. He said, whatever the mind believes and conceives, the mind will be able to achieve. So the leadership, one part of leadership is within. And of course, the other part outside, and also the opportunity and also the environment. Many factors influence leadership. That's why if we want to go into studies about leadership effectiveness, you can look into many variables that influence leadership. Anybody want to share anything before I go into this theory? What do you think influence more? If you want to grow, is it are you going to be dependent on your head of department, your organization, or the environment to become a leader? Or do you believe that you yourself will be able to what do you call, have a strong belief system? I used to say the way, strong values, attitudes, belief, perception about yourself. A lot of things counts. A lot of things will influence you in becoming a leader, a transformational leader. Anybody have any views want to share? Feel free to share. I don't want the class to be one way. Mostly people know in like training and all, it will be more interactive. So we don't want it to be one way. Feel free to give your views.
I will share then, Dr. Bala.
Yep.
Okay, for me, I will think my view is leader is not boss and boss is not leader. Okay. In simple terms, to become a real leader, many of the time is not built, it's not self, but it need to go through certain training. And the success to be leader is leader build leader. That's why train the trainer, I think, is very important. Especially at this time, a lot of people we have many generation, their thinking is different. The bossy type will actually chase away a lot of younger generation. So for me, boss is not leader. Leader is very different from boss, but a lot of people think manager is leader. That is not for me. I don't think so. Yeah.
Correct. What you say is correct. A manager is not a leader. A boss is different. A boss, we will come into that later on. I'll talk about boss. What do you mean by boss? What is a leader? What is a manager? A lot of distinction that you can draw between leadership and management. And in literature provides a lot of examples on that. Okay, now let me look into give you the information about various, how the study about leadership have developed over the years. See how the leadership studies have developed. You have come across great man theory. Actually, great man theory is even before the 19th century. I think in the early 19th century onwards. You don't get that many literature that you can find, but I can tell you there are many of the East Asian literatures available. I can provide you with the classics from the ancient Indian literatures. You might also have a literature from Chinese literature, which are much more earlier than that. In the Indian context, I can quote many literatures that were even in the before Christ, BCs, that mention about leadership. In the Chinese literature, you also have many literature before Christ. Not only Lao Tzu, Confucianism, many other. I can tell you there are literatures available. Okay, even in if I take the Indian one, you have the Kautilyan, the Tirukural, you have many other works that goes like Kautilya Sastra goes into the 4th century BC. Talks about leadership. So leadership in the past, when they did the study, they look into great man. Great man theory is a belief that people, to become a leader, you need to be born as a leader. Only someone with that quality, inborn quality, can be a leader. You cannot make leader. These are the arguments. Well, to some extent you can take, even today it is applicable. There are people who still have the strong belief leaders are born. The argument is that, can you transform a donkey into a horse, race horse? You want to transform, you want to win a race, can you get a donkey to run the race? You can't. Donkey can run, but donkey will not be able to run. The donkey will not be faster. Even the fastest donkey cannot be faster than the slowest horse. Slowest race horse. So they look into a certain trait. You need to be born. Again, come to your view. Okay, you look into, maybe I stop here for a while. What do you think? Are leaders born or made? This argument has been going on for years, centuries. Yes, George.
I think there's no so-called conclusion, but some leaders, you say in our country or previously, that so-called owner and the founder of the company, there seems to be born leaders, just like in the history of China also. So I think that the two main example you put it, everybody know the founder of the Genting Group and the founder of the Honda motorcycle, which is more popular, known by Penang people. I think they are born leaders, is it? Yeah, okay. Some leaders are born, some leaders are made,
Even born leader in that particular case, when you are looking into the case of Genting, you're looking into the case of Genting's late Tan Sri Lim Go Tong, late Tan Sri Lo Bun Sriu.
Yes.
Situational leadership. It's about their vision, direction, situation. Actually, if you study their history, at the time when they were coming, they have very hard. Life was hard for them. Even if you study Japan, Konosuke Matsushita. In Japan, Konosuke Matsushita is known as the god of management, great leader, industrial leader. You look into their life, you can just do a search about them, about their life. They were very hard, difficult to even get food on the table. So it was a time when they have to somehow survive. The survival instinct was very strong in them. So they need to somehow rather take risks. Life is about taking risks. So those leaders are strong because of not only because of the inborn traits, but also the situation they were around. But the current leaders in general is that you look into the current situations of a leader, you want to grow a leader, there's no hardship. There are hardship. Yes, there are some people facing hardship, but in general, people do not face the type of hardship as during the time of Lim Go Tong or even Lo Bun Sriu. A lot of literatures are there. People have done some studies about these different types of leadership. Why a particular, like, for example, if I ask what you call Mok, okay, Mok from Sarawak. Why in Sarawak, among the community, the Fuchao community are very strong and very enterprising. What makes them very strong and enterprising? Fuchao community in Sarawak. What is it? Is it they are born with that? Is it they have been made in that way? What is the factor from your perspective, not necessarily from a research?
Okay. To me, I think two things. One is because of environment, they are very poor. They came to Sarawak very poor, so they have to work very hard to earn their living. So that kind of hardworking value is still in mindset. The second thing is a lot of Fuchao from Sarawak, they are Christian. They are influenced by Bible value, which hardworking is one of them. And to achieve success and to achieve excellence is one of the mindset is still in them.
Okay, thank you. They are mostly based in Cebu, but from Cebu, they have actually moved to all different parts of Sarawak, even in Peninsular Malaysia. Some of the big companies, in Sarawak, Samling, Sinyang, all these groups are all from them. The origin from Cebu. So because I've been there, I know there are also people who have done studies. But why that trait cannot be seen in others. That is also another thing, because you mentioned hardship. Because there was study, they say in the beginning when they came, it's always one-way ticket for them. They don't go back. Wherever they land, they have to find. Wherever they land, they have to survive. So they used to say that when they meet, usually it's not in future, but in China in general, they use the first thing they will ask is that they will not ask how are you. They won't ask ni hao. They will ask you ni shiloma, have you eaten or not? First greeting is that have you eaten or not? Because food at that time was difficult to find, to get food. So you do, if you do, I'm sure you are familiar more with the leadership. So why some of them become great leaders. Okay, but of course there are other things that you can look into, the drawbacks of certain type of leadership practiced by them. But on one side, they are very successful. They are very successful. Okay, so anybody else wants to look into born, are leaders born or made? Again, as I said, research differs. It's mostly combination between the situation, the environment, and also the trade. Genghis Khan, if you take Genghis Khan, if you study Genghis Khan's Temujin, some of the great leaders of the past, have you come across a name called Attila? Attila the Hun. Never heard before. Attila, A-T-T-I-L-A, Attila. He's called the Attila the Hun. There is a book written on leadership secrets of Attila the Hun. There are also about leadership from Temujin, Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan in the beginning was more about his belief. His belief that he has to lead. His first task is to unite the Mongols. Mongols were all divided. Only when he united the Mongols, then the Mongols became very powerful. So the first stage for Genghis Khan is internal war. The war within himself. Leadership, there are a lot of things within. One have to conquer within before he moves out. Then you, of course, you study about Alexander, many leaders, past leaders, different type of leaders. Napoleon, look at his size, look at his personality. How Napoleon able to command, became a great leader. Any leader, if you do a search, you can find many. If you study the life histories of leaders, you will find it's mostly the combination of various factors. So studies about leadership, if you look into the theory, it actually evolved from a great man theory to a trade theory to Michigan, the studies done in the behavioral theories. Then you have situational, transactional, transformational. Later on, I will show you a short video on how the theories evolve and what we see in present. In fact, in present, we still apply the transactional, transformational, servant leadership models are still applicable even today. So trait is the characteristics. Situation, not situation. Situation is different. Characteristics that you need to develop within you. What are the characteristics? There are characteristics. If you look into many ancient literatures, describe about characters of the leader. You can have a leader, spiritual leader, whether it is a spiritual leader, whether it is a business leader, whether it is a community leader. What are the traits? For example, how many of you are familiar with Confucius? What are the traits of leader mentioned by Confucius? Are you able to remember leadership traits? If you take the Eastern philosophy, okay, Lao Tzu, Tao, the leadership. Maybe Lingam and Mano, if you are familiar from Ramayana, characteristics of Rama mentioned in Ramayana, especially you find in book 1, chapter 1, verse number 2 to number 4. There talks about trait of the leader. Any leaders you look into based on the literature, you will be able to find there are traits. The trait or the characteristics. What makes a person a leader? What are the traits that one need to develop to become a leader? For example, Andre in South Africa, very well-known leader of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. What made him to become a leader? What was a trait? Leadership trait. Any part of the world you study leaders. In Malaysia, you can study many leaders. Leaders of the past prime ministers, current prime minister. I don't want to go into the politics and analyze each leader, but you can do analysis. Like South Africa, I was mentioning to Andre, Mandela and other leaders, current leaders. Maybe close to South Africa, you have Zimbabwe. You know the leader called Mugabe. Have you come across the name of a leader called Mugabe? Not definitely Andre will know, but what about the other Malaysians? Mugabe, have you come across? Definitely you should know. There are leaders in Africa. Zimbabwe is a country in Africa. And there are leaders in the past. Okay, if you go into earlier times in 70s, in Uganda, there was a leader called Idi Amin. Have you come across? Have you learned? How was his leadership style? Before we are talking about behavioral types, we need to look into the traits. Then in other parts of Africa, in the northern part of Africa, in Libya, you had what they call Mahmoud Gaddafi. Have you heard the name? You might have heard the name about 12 years ago during the upspring in the Middle East. In the Egypt, we had Hosni Mubarak. India also very popular at that time, earlier times. Leader Gandhi is of course well known. Within Southeast Asia, you have all the countries within Southeast Asia have very leaders who have been known for various reasons. Whether you are looking at Malaysia, whether you are looking at Indonesia, Philippines. So because even today, when we talk about a particular country, we always identify the country with a leader. We always tend to identify a country with a leader. So trait theory, we're going to look into some of the theories, study about trait, what makes a leader, behavior. Trait theory looks into what leaders are, but behavioral theory tends to look into what leaders do, action of the leader. And then of course, contingency approaches. See, John Maxwell, one of the prolific author in the field of leadership, John Maxwell, he said that a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So leader is important, like what Alexander said. He is not afraid of army of lions led by a sheep, but afraid of an army of a sheep led by a lion. How important leaders are. Okay, now I want to give you, before I give you a break, before I give you a break, I'll give you a break for 15 minutes. Before we go for a break, look at some of your organizational challenges that you face in leadership. Okay, some of the challenges. Okay, I stop share here first. Think about some of the challenges. You want to write down in a chat box, can, or you want to say it also, you can. Okay, think about the challenges. I think I will give you a break for, I think by right, I should have given you a break around 10:30, but it's actually taken a bit longer. I'll give you a break for about 15 minutes. Think about some of the current leadership challenges that you face in your organization. And after 15 minutes break, you can share your thoughts, then we will continue. Okay, I'll give you a short break for 15 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Hope everyone is back. Okay, leadership challenges. I look at it. Okay, okay. Many of you have written here. Leadership challenges. Mostly result oriented, not people oriented. Okay, like what Lincoln mentioned, result oriented or people oriented. We'll be looking into grit, called managerial grit by Blake and Mountain. What I'm going to do is that after this class, I will share with you, or maybe even before the class or during the break, I will share with you certain instrument for you to test your leadership. Are you a people-oriented person or a result-oriented person? And it is actually based on the leadership grit by Blake and Mountain. Okay, so first one from Lingam, he said, mostly result-oriented. They don't care about people. So role of the leader is to balance. You know, a leader must be able to balance between the two. A balance between, on one side, you have your tasks that need to be accomplished. On the other side, you have the people that you need to consider, that you need to care. So both tasks and the people, a leader must be able to balance. Okay, the other one, sensitivity to people feeling and priority on the environment. Okay, sensitivity to people. Yes, it's important that the leader need to be aware and sensitive to people. Lack of delegation and execution and authority to get things done. Lack of decentralization. Let's say if the organization has various divisions, branches, there are leaders who like to hold the power. They don't want to empower or delegate. Okay, these are also some of the challenges. Okay, from Andre mentioned, core challenge is overcoming generation gap. The older generation, the younger generation, the traditionalists, to balance the need to balance the traditionalists, baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and the millennials. Okay, communicating vision, value system, generation gap also from winning. Outdated. Now, outdated leadership style, if you are talking about more what they call directive style, command base, giving instruction, do not want to get feedback from people. The other one is lack of EQ. Okay. Now, many leaders fail based on several research. It's not only research, you can also see it in practice due to poor emotional intelligence. They are not emotionally intelligent in dealing with people. That's why I used to advise for people who are going to be appointed or promoted for critical position, someone not only needs to be promoted or appointed based on their technical skills, but on their human skills. Technical skills are important for every job. Every job, let's say if you're a lawyer, you need to be technically competent related to the laws. Like if you are HR, legal side, you need to be familiar with the Employment Act, Industrial Relations Act, Trade Unions Act, Occupational Safety and Health, and all the legislations that affects employment. You need to be familiar. You need to have that technical knowledge. But most importantly, for a leader, for a manager, human skills. Human skills means what? Skills to deal with people, skills to communicate with people, skills to diffuse conflict or even to avoid conflict or prevent conflict, skills in getting the best out of the people. These are all human skills. Human skills are very crucial. Leadership skill is a human skill, part of EQ. And then lack of agile management skills, stick to old ways of doing things. Agile management, you can go into a search on agile leadership. One of the most recent theses one of our DBA students have done is about agile leadership. Agile, okay? And then G mentioned about favoritism, cronyism, nepotism. Leaders, top leaders favors certain group of people, favors middle executive, lower executive being abused. Certain favoritism, you see, happens in politics. Not only in politics, but also in organization. Okay, favoritism, nepotism, cronyism. How do we do? What do we need to do? What the leader needs? These are all the traits that we need to develop in development, not to practice favoritism. But these are easy to be said in theory, but in practice, most leaders have certain what do we call liking to certain individuals in the organization. They tend to favor certain individual in the organization. It happens every organization, you can find that. The other one must have a constant communication between leaders. Communication, personality, yes, personality of the leader. A lot of things that we can look into under personality. Studies about personality and leadership, they have many dimensions of personalities, many. It's not only about the individuals, risk-taking, locus of control, extroversion, introversion. Actually, if you are doing specific to personality, I can give you an instrument where you can test many things about personalities. Even we can, there are instruments like MBTI, Myers-Briggs Test Indicators, to look into Myers-Briggs Test Indicators or MBTI. If you do a search, will give you 16 different results related to individual personality that are linked to the job. Okay, Pepe mentions about thick layer, organizational structure. Traditional organizational structure even today are changing. We don't have many hierarchies. Even today, I say there are many, but organizations that they want to be very successful, to grow, to be efficient and effective, they need to delayer. Okay, here you have thick layer, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership can be successful in some contexts. If you have followers or people who are matured, who have the right competency to decide, let them decide. But if the people or the follower have not reached the level of maturity that is required to make a decision, then you can't do a laissez-faire leadership. It has to be more directive in nature. Okay, innovation and speed to market, slower competitively, higher overhead costs. This one more on the financial and marketing side. From delay, resistance to change, which one of the area we look into, change resistance. How do we overcome the resistance? What are the strategies that can be done in the organization? Managers can do, leaders can do to manage the change. Pace of decision making. And then Waikit mentioned low team engagement, lack of engagement, team averse from Belay. And then Mano mentioned about influencing people, difficult to influence. How do we influence people? Leadership is about influence. One of the key tasks of the leader is influence. Influence is more than just persuade. If you do a search in the literature, you will be able to find a distinction that can be drawn between persuasion and influence. Ability to influence is a skill. Okay, before you influence the people, think about how you influence your spouse, your children. Are you able to influence them? Why do they follow you? Influencing. Are you able to influence your friend? Are you able to influence your superior? Are you able to influence your peers? So influencing is a skill. There are various literatures on persuasion psychology, persuasion skills. How do you, leaders, these are a very important skill for a leader. Leader need to be competent in influencing skills, persuasion skills. Persuasion is not only important for people who are in sales or in marketing, but for every leader. It is an art rather than a science, and it requires practice. Influencing skills plays a very important role when you negotiate. How do you able to get buy-in from your superior? Then, of course, from Waikid mentioned also about lack of commitment, low moral and ethics. There's also another topic within the scores within the area of leadership. Lack of direction. Lack of direction means no vision, no clear direction. When a leader have no clear direction, do not know where they want to take the organization, people also clueless. They won't know. Just like you go into a vehicle, you do not know where you want to go. Where are you going to end up? Nowhere. And then from Nurliza, senior leaders responded poorly in terms of decision making as they are not understanding what is happening in the ground level. Okay. Grooming a team is really difficult if there are people who are underperforming and then having communication problem. Difficult to open communication with team members and get suggestion, feedback, micromanaging becoming the best way, especially work from home culture. Is it the right approach? Okay. Now, do you have to micromanage? When a task today, if you are looking into work from home, it should be based on outcome. It should be measured based on outcome, not the number of hours when the employee is doing the work, but at the end of the day, is the outcome being achieved? Is the performance goals that has been given to the employee has been achieved? Because the employee is not in the office, but it has to be measured on the outcome. As long as the outcome is accomplished, then the employee has completed the required task. Ego, generation gap. This is from Kawe. Comfort zone. Now this slide later on I will share with you, maybe in the WhatsApp group later I will share after the class. Then founder's personality. This is from George. Senior management, leadership or perception, resistance to change, especially HOD and employees, acceptance of employee, limited resources, yes. Founder personality, yes. The founder's personality or the leader's personality has a major influence in the growth and success of an organization. Leadership is about not only about influence, I mentioned, also personality. How people perceive the leader. When we say how people perceive the leader is a leader's personality. Leader's influence. Poor planning, okay. Resistance to change, quite common. Acceptance of employees, limited resources or IT. From Kong, difficult to convince senior employee to change. Didn't keep up with the latest business need for change. Senior employee, what will you do? What will you do for poor performing senior employee? How do you manage them? What are the performance management techniques. This one comes under HR performance management techniques that can be used to manage poor performing senior employees. Do you think senior employees' performance are poor, or any employees, if the performance are poor, you can sack them or fire them? Definitely people from HR will tell you, you can't simply fire anyone with reasonable reason. Many companies, many employers, they dismiss employee without reason, without reasonable reason. They end up in the industrial court and they lose a particular case and they have to pay compensation. Compensation in lieu of reinstatement or back wages, and also back wages. Why? Because you need to understand, as per the employment law in Malaysia, as per the Industrial Relations Act 1967, Industrial Relations Act also goes through changes now. Industrial Relations Act 1967, Section 20 talks about representation on unfair dismissal. When a workman, okay, whether he's a member of a trade unions or not, if unfairly dismissed, he can file representation of the nearest Industrial Relations Department within 60 days of the dismissal. So the burden of proof need to be there, like a poor performance. Have you given the employee the warning? Is a warning clearly communicated, whether verbal warning or what, clearly communicated? Have you given the employee enough training to improve, guidance? Have you put the, after given the warning, have you put the employee under PIP or performance improvement plans? In a performance improvement plan, have you provided all the expectations after the performance? Let's say after PIP, performance improvement plan, if you tried your level best, employee cannot improve, yes, you can terminate. You can dismiss for poor performance, but make sure you have sufficient evidence. Because when a case is heard in an industrial court, if an employer terminates a contract of employment of a workman, or now we call employee or the workman, now Employment Act uses employee, okay, whether employee or workman, the contract has been terminated, the burden of proof of the termination is on the employer. Employer must prove the employee guilty, not the employee prove himself innocent, even in a case of poor performance, whether it is misconduct. Okay, so poor performance, you need to have evidence before you terminate. Okay. All right, difficult to convince it didn't keep up with the latest business needs. From mock, identifying potential leaders and systematic way of grooming them. Hard to find balance between transformational and transactional leaders. Yes, at times. As I said, most leaders tend to be transactional. It is important from transactional, you need to move to transformational. Fear of failure from Go Yiming. No failure, there is no failure, change your strategies. Lack of confidence. Need to boost your self-esteem. Impatient, low EQ. Resistance to change. Old belief systems, strong old belief system. Then low commitment, difficulty in satisfying everyone. Yes, as a leader, you cannot satisfy every employee. This is important for you to note. You can't satisfy every employee. So thank you, everyone. You have given a lot of things that we can look into under the challenges for leaders, especially transformational leadership, where you can look at the challenges within the context of your organization. Okay. Before you go for your lunch break, maybe I might give you lunch break later than 12. Let me see how fast I should, if I'm able to go through some areas of assignment expectations, I should be able to, I should be able to we should be able to break at 12. Now, let's see, before I go into that, I might share with you a small video on leadership, theories. Just give me a minute. Leadership theories. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. I need to. Okay, I got the video in ready. Just give me a minute now. I will stop. Okay, I will share the video. Okay, very short video on 5 minutes on theories on leadership. Are you able to? Okay.
Kurt Lewin, the renowned psychologist and researcher.
Okay, are you able to view the short video here? All right.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Said it well. There's nothing so practical as a good theory. Well, how about 10 good theories?
Okay, Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin, if you do a search in early 20th century, he has written about leadership and also on change management. In fact, the styles of leadership, a lot of things has been written about Kurt Lewin. Even the force field analysis theory in change management and the change management models have also come from Lewin. Lewin has a lot of contribution to the field of leadership, management, and change management.
Prove your ability to lead. Here are 10 of the best-known leadership theories in 5 minutes. First are what was originally called the great man theory. It postulated that great leaders are born, not made. You either have it or you don't. And then it tried to identify the set of attributes that all of these natural-born leaders have in common. While it's now become clear that leadership is actually learnable.
Okay, great man theory is one of the earliest theory of leadership. So if you do a search on leadership theory, you come across this great man theory. Okay, great man theory, the belief, strong belief, leaders are born. Okay, that's a great man theory.
Notion that some people inherently have more leadership gifts than others. So this was a good start. It spawned something called the trait theory of leadership, a line of research that examines which individual characteristics we should pursue to lead effectively. The upside is that it's easy to understand. Be like this and people will follow you. But the downside is that it's identified dozens of traits, and no single set has emerged as the ideal for all circumstances.
Okay. The second theory, in a nutshell, I can just give you in a nutshell. The second theory is trait theory. Trait means you want to, something like what you are going to do to some extent in your exam assignment will be a bit of trait also. You analyze the trait of a leader. Any leader you want to emulate, because we always follow people. Since we are born, as we grow, we have a tendency to follow someone, or people will follow us. But we always tend to look for examples to become whether we want to be a great man, woman, we want to follow people. People tend to follow some certain celebrities. If not celebrities, they might follow a sports person, want to be like them. They want maybe religious leader, they want to be like them. They want to develop like them. So even you would have, even in your organization, you see your leader or the leader that you have worked with, they exhibit or demonstrate exceptional leadership qualities, transformational leadership. You want to follow them. If you want to follow that particular leader, you need to know, you need to look at what are the traits of the leader that makes him very successful. So you study the trait and then try to see whether you can develop the trait or not. Are you able to develop that particular trait or not? This is called a trait theory. Trait theory means you identify various traits of successful leaders, and then you want to develop the trait within you. I will come into that part later. Examples are there, many examples.
So it can be overwhelming to attempt. Somewhat related is the skills theory of leadership. Just like trait theory, it tries to identify a set of key attributes, but in this case, practical skills rather than just general qualities of a leader. The bottom line on this one is, if you want people to follow you, you need technical skills in your field. That is, you need to be good at what you're doing so you have some credibility. You need people skills like persuasion and diplomacy and affability, and you need conceptual skills, the ability to see the big picture and to think strategically. Next, there's the theory that leadership style is the key to success. Styles like be autocratic and demanding, or be democratic and participative, or be laissez-faire and leave people alone. Probably the best known style-based theory is called the managerial.
We will be coming into this. I will share an instrument. If you want to do self-assessment, where do you fit into? Are you the type of leader who has a very high concern for people or high concern for performance or tasks? The best leader is a leader who will have high concern for his people, at the same time, high concern for the task, somewhere 99 or somewhere here. The worst type of leader, based on the results you get, I hope none of you will fall under that category, with low concern for people and very low concern for performance. Sometimes we tend to happen, sorry to say, you might find in some organization, political organization, government-linked companies, you do find leaders who fall under this category. They don't care about the people, they don't care about the task, they are there just because of their because of certain reason, political reasons or so on. You might find a leader who will not care about the people, only performance tasks. You might also care about, you might find a leader who has high concern for people, but very low concern for the performance. These are some of the under the
grid. Adopt a leadership style that's both people-friendly and uncompromising on performance. It's a solid foundation, but there's a bit more to leadership effectiveness. That's where these next couple theories came from. Situational leadership theory argues that there's no one-size-fits-all model. Certain traits and skills and styles fit better in one situation than another, so the leader must adapt.
Situational leadership, no one best way. It all depends on the situation. So leadership is a variable factor. There are many factors they do look into. For example, in some research, as you go on, you will learn about many of this research and how the research is done. So when you are looking into the research, you study various variables in leadership. For example, if you are looking into dependent variable, independent variable, depending variable, all these concepts, you will come across later when you go to your research methodology. Let's say the dependent variable is a leadership effectiveness. There will be a lot of independent variables that affects leadership effectiveness. It can be leader himself, the follower, the technology, the environment, the organizational culture. Many variables will be there. So you will also be studying about the various factors that affects the leadership. Leadership effectiveness, let's say LE, leadership effectiveness is a function to many variables. You will list out many variables. So it's a situation, sometimes situation. The same leader, one leader can be successful in one situation, one context. In another situation, you put the same leader, he might not be successful. You might find a successful leader in one industry might not be able to be successful in another industry, because the environment is different. The culture is different. For example, let's say if you take Vietnam, in Vietnam, you know the leader called Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh is considered to be a successful leader, but even within the same Vietnam, if you go into different parts of Vietnam, especially in the north, they don't have a good opinion of him as a great leader. Differs. It actually differs according to environment. So leadership at times can be culture specific. Okay, a very classic example is that situation. You want to look into leadership style and everything, you copy exactly like IBM in 80s. When a Japanese IBM was very successful, in America, they wanted to adapt, copy the same styles, the same way of what they did in Japan to the IBM in US. But you know what happened? Failed. Why? Because what can be applicable there, unable to be imported to another country. So the leadership is also culture specific. For example, a success, okay, in a class, I had sometimes in the past, I have taught a class where students are multinational and multicultural, whereby in a class we have about 15 to 16 different nationalities. So when the students are asked, what makes a great leader in your country? List out 5 factors. And another country, they give different. The factors are different. In one particular culture or country, leaders are expected to be humble. But the same humbleness cannot be practiced in another country. Okay, for example, if you take a leadership, let's say leadership in Japan, even in East Asian country, in Japan, in China can be different. Organizational differences, industrial differences can be different. Even a leadership like in Malaysia, leadership style in a manufacturing and a bank can also be different. Why? Environment is different, situation is different. So the same approach or the style cannot be either imported or exported without considering the situation or the environment.
For example, coaching a high school boys team may imply a somewhat different approach than coaching high school girls. Same objectives and standards perhaps, but to get great results might require more of a disciplinarian for the boys, but a highly relational coach for the girls. A closely connected idea is called the contingency theory of leadership. Whereas the situational leadership approach assumes that the situation is static and the leader should adapt to it, the contingency theory assumes that the leader's default style is also pretty much fixed. Maybe he's more task-oriented than people-oriented. So the trick is to fit the right leader to the situation. Bottom line, effective leadership is contingent on matching the leader's style to the setting. In the coaching example, it would mean to find and install the right coach, rather than hoping the current coach will adapt his or her style to the situation. Transactional leadership and transformational leadership are two theories that we can consider together. As the term implies, transactional leadership means that there's a reciprocity of behavior between the leader and the follower. People will follow based on the incentives in place. So the leader's job is to find the right mix of rewards and punishments, and then closely monitor what's going on. The theory of transformational leadership, by contrast, says that leaders gain buy-in and commitment not so much from the quid pro quo approach as they do from encouraging their followers, caring for them, inspiring them toward a vision.
Okay, over here you get some idea about transactional and transformational leaders.
Short, they get results by proactively transforming the environment and the relationships, cultivating followership, rather than paying for it or punishing non-compliance like the transactional leader does. Leader-member exchange theory is a bit like transactional theory because it suggests that leadership is basically about a fair exchange between the leader and the led. But it goes further to say that the exchange creates an in-group and an out-group with respect to the leader. And that, in turn, affects people's performance and willingness to stick around. In a way, it's just like being back in high school. There was the in crowd, and then there were the rest of us, and that can have some dysfunctional consequences. So the theory suggests that leaders may want to address their tendency to alienate people. And then there's servant leadership theory, which is kind of a blend between.
Okay, servant leadership theory. Servant leadership theory is another theory. One of the prolific researcher in the field of servant leadership theory is, his name is Robert Greenleaf. You can actually, let me stop share here. You can actually search for Robert Greenleaf. Greenleaf have done, there is a book on servant leadership by Robert Greenleaf. If you do a search, you can find this information. See, for your course, although there is a prescribed book, textbook, there is a book on leadership which is in the course outline. If you go into your LMS or FlexLearn, you can see the in the outline I have given in. It's not mandatory for you to go and purchase and read. It's not possible to complete everything within these 2 months. What is important is journal articles. At the DBA level, it's not just a book, but mostly journal articles, which you will be able to access from our library's website. I am sure when you, during your orientation or your regional office would have briefed you about how to assess the library journals, the journals that are in a library. We don't subscribe to all journals, but if you, even the journal, existing journals that we have, if you do a search under leadership, transformational leadership, you will be able to find a lot of information. A lot of information, a lot of articles are there. Some articles I might share in the group. I think I will share in the WhatsApp group more than in the FlexLearn. I hope all of you are in the WhatsApp group, because the last I saw in the WhatsApp group, not all of you are in. If you go into your LMS, I have already given the link for you to join the WhatsApp group. Okay, I have given a link to join the WhatsApp group. And if all of you are in a group, it's easier for me to post things in the group. I think one of you have just joined. So far in our group, we have 16. Okay, one of you, okay, one more not in yet. I think one of you are not in yet, 16. Okay, I think there is also one more student who are not here, who's not here. I did message to Dr. Anbar to communicate with him, to contact him to join, because it's important to be here face to face. No, sorry, not face to face, to attend directly, then to view the recording. I hope he comes at least after lunch. So hope everyone is in the WhatsApp group. So I will post certain things in the WhatsApp group for you to go through the assignment. And for the assignment, feel free to communicate to me if you are not very clear. Later on, I will go through. Definitely, I'm going to go through with you the assignment. After the lunch break, I will go through with you guidance. There is also a video recording that I have done for the assignment guidance about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. It's still applicable because the content of the assignment is not changed. Only the dates are different. If you look into the introductory video about the course, forget about the due dates, because that was a due date at the time of the recording in 2020 for the for January 2020's batch. Okay, for you, you have your due date given is 19th of February, but I have no problem extending an additional 2 or 3 days. The reason is that we need to get in your marks in by the what you call 3rd week, by the end of the 3rd week of February, so that the exam office have to process and then call for exam board. And once the exam board is over, you will get your results. Usually your results, you will be able to get it by 1st week of March, before you enroll for another module after the transformational leadership and change. Now, so far, no student failed a module at level 1 in their DBA program. As far as I know, no student have failed. There were students in the past who did not do that well, but the students were requested to resubmit. The university given the opportunity for the student to resubmit following the standard, the requirement, and the student resubmitted, and finally the student managed to clear. Level 1 so far, students have not failed. In level 2, there are cases where student did not go through, and then they have to take it again in level 2, because as you go from your stage 1, that is level 1, level 2 dissertation, it might be a bit challenging. But level 1 will not be that challenging, because these are all basic fundamental courses for any business program to meet the program standard given by the MQA. If you are not familiar with who MQA is the accrediting body for all the programs in Malaysia. Not only WOU, but also all the other universities as well. Our DBA program just recently, last year, obtained full accreditation by MQA. Fully accredited by MQA. So your degree program, because it is fully accredited by MQA, it is recognized not only in Malaysia, but also other country that accepts qualification from Malaysia. Okay, like for example, Andre, of course, Andre is here, but in case some of you who are going international, usually they will look into degrees nowadays needs to be accredited for it to be recognized internationally. So if the accrediting body in Malaysia that is why you have a course related to HR, related to leadership. You have a course related to accounting, management accounting. No sound. Okay. Are you able to hear?
Now, okay.
Yeah, right now it's okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe they will gap somewhere. Okay,
We
fine.
missed the last 1 minute.
Okay, last 1 minute somewhere, last 1 minute. Okay, sometimes I think it happens. I see my connectivity is okay. There's no problem. Maybe somewhere, maybe it's get disconnected or what. I think it shouldn't have been disconnected, because if disconnected, we will not be able to view. Okay, fine. So the basic courses, you have accounting, management accounting is there, management accounting, decision making. Then you have the corporate governance and social responsibility, supply chain, transformational leadership, strategic thinking. Then you have the contemporary issues in marketing. These are all the common basics you have to go through, because that provides you with a fundamental knowledge of leadership, of marketing, of strategy, of accounting, of governance, and also supply chain before you go into the next stage. So as you go on, I think I will have more communications later on during the lunch break when I go through the assignment, and also in the group. Now, although I will be guiding you for the assignment later on, but feel free to communicate to me if you have any difficulty in understanding the requirement. If possible, what I will do at a later stage, I might send you one sample, but I think I don't want to, I will have to look into previous assignments I can't simply share that to you because that assignment belongs to some other students. What I can do, even if I share, I will have to remove certain things. Remove things if there are things that are confidential. I think if there are things, there are certain, if I have to look into some of the past assignments, okay, I will remove some of them, like names and other things I will remove, and then I might share for you to know how you can plan to do your final assignment. And as you plan to do your assignment, at the same time, you also prepare based on the content of the final assignment, the content of the assignment, slides, at least about 10 slides you can prepare to do your presentation. As I mentioned to you, from 10th of February to 15th of February, I will be away outside Malaysia. But of course, it's not confirmed. They have not booked the flight. Organizer have yet to book the flight. But I will be on leave during this time. So the 12th of February for seminar 2, I will not be able to do it even from there. I think it's not easy for me to do it from there. I will be planning separate session, either group of you or individually. I will put in a WhatsApp group, certain slots, maybe 2 hours each, 2 hours or 2 or 3 hours, maybe some of the evenings or some of the days, evenings, whenever you are free. Okay, or you can tell me when you are free for 30 minutes. 30 minutes of your time where I will see your presentation. Okay, and then whatever that you have presented will be recorded and will be shared in our group. Okay, and anything on Q&A or anything you can do, because a presentation component consists of 40% of your marks. 40% will be based on presentation and 60% will be based on the report that you will be submitting. 19, or maybe if you want additional 2 days, I can provide you. I can give you additional 2 days. Okay, the time I will plan, I will share in the WhatsApp group and also in the LMS, whichever time that you prefer, you tell me, and I will put your name under that particular time. And once you have taken, then the others have to choose other times or time that you want. I usually, most of the time, I think I work, I'll go to the office. I can even work from office or I can work from home at times, even in the evenings also if you want. 30 minutes are needed, which you can decide from February, 5th of February to maybe 19th of February. But remember that February 10 to 15 I'll be away. So 5th of February to 9th of February, and then 16th of February to 19th of February, there will be times that I will plan 30 minutes for each of you. Okay, so that is that should be able to cover the presentation, because most of the time, most seminars, seminar 2 is based on presentation, assessment of the presentation. Okay, when I used to do it face to face, it was very interesting. People do it face to face, but the online at times it's not as, even the class face to face is mostly interesting to do a class face to face. But unfortunately, for DBA, we are still doing it online since the pandemic. I think if the university looks into, if there are huge number in each regional centers, then they might even consider doing it back to face to face. Okay.
Doctor?
Yeah.
Suggestion, yeah, doctor suggestion.
Yeah.
Because the submission of the assignment is on 19, and usually after the presentation, we will need to modify our assignment. Okay, I suggest maybe you select a few dates then let's nail it. Then we go through the presentation with you. Then we have the time to do the assignment instead of 16/7 is very rushed. It's too last minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
We won't go after 19. Okay, after 19, definitely no. You will have time. In fact, we can even complete from 5th of February is public holiday, Taipusam. Usually afternoon, evening, I'm okay. I'm free. Okay, in the afternoon or evening. Taipusam, usually when I go here, it's morning. Usually morning, I will be away, morning. But afternoon, usually after 2, after 3, I will be free. Okay. And then 6th of February is also public, 6th of February is a public holiday. I think the 6th of February public holiday, the whole day I will be free. I will keep it free the whole day. Okay. But in case if you feel you want to do a class on 6th of February, also possible for me. Okay. But if you are not able to make it, I will arrange certain time on the 5th, 6th, 7, it will be usually evening, 8 and 9. I think for 15 or 16 of you, definitely you should be able to fit in. Okay, so don't worry. We will try to avoid 16 to 19, but we will try to do it all by 5th to 9th of February. Okay, no worries. 19 is the due date, but additional 2 days is fine. Additional 2 days will be fine with me. Okay, all of you have downloaded your assignment, right? Okay, later, once we have completed our lunch break, I will give you a lunch break up to 2, no problem. 2 o'clock, you can come back at 2. 2 to 5 will be our next session. During the session, we will go through some content and also the assignment component, because I want to focus more on the assignment component so that you are clear with what is required and what is expected for you to do a proper assignment. Because the assignment is not only graded by me, I will grade the assignment, yes, but it will be moderated. We'll go through moderation. So it's important to make sure the minimum standard is attained. All right. Okay. Anybody with any questions so far before we break for our lunch? Yes, George.
Okay. Dr. Bala, so the presentation basically is a snapshot from our assignment report.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same.
Same okay.
As assignment. The assignment is you summarize the assignment in your presentation, covering the key area.
Okay. Now, number 2. Okay. I look at that the LMS, since we are the so-called the alumni, So I still say that our FlexiLearn. Is the previously 9 January or last week we have a seminar?
9 January, no, we didn't. I think the LMS, sometimes the LMS administrator, I think I can even do it. Usually the administrator will make it not visible, the old one. I think it is still visible, means later on, maybe I will make it not visible. I will only make it visible what is there for you currently.
Yeah, because I'm confused, because you look at there's a statement from you, 9 January, which is Monday.
Yeah. That was the previous, I think the previous batch. Batch.
Okay.
Because the date of posting, you would have seen, it would be 2022, not 2023.
Oh, okay.
So it's what I will do, I will look at the LMS again. Some of the old one, I will try to, I will make it not visible to you.
Yeah, because I say that too little information, you can't make decision. Too much is overload.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Number 3 is that day I posted in the WhatsApp. There seems to be there's 2 version of outline, course outline. Which one we follow?
Okay, I have replied that the most recent one, which I have posted in the WhatsApp group. But if it's still not clear later on, maybe after the class, because I will be away now for lunch. Later after the class, I will post in the WhatsApp group the most recent one. No worries about that.
Actually, basically, one is the file names a bit short. Look at that. One is called BBM704.04 course outline. The another one is very longer name, course outline, transformation leadership, blah blah blah.
Okay, actually the course outline, the most recent one we updated for the MQA visit. The earlier one was the old course outline, which was not updated.
So which one you follow? The old
the
short name
earlier
or the long
one,
file name?
the earlier one was the course outline that was submitted by the university for provisional accreditation of this DBA, which was approved. Okay. Later, after the provisional accreditation, we need to, every university, they need to get a full accreditation from the MQA. So for full accreditation of MQA, we have made many changes according to the program standard and all that. So that one that I have shared in the WhatsApp group is the most recent one. So I will remove the earlier one. I think it will be better if I remove the earlier one. Okay.
I think which means that the file name is the longest one is the most recent one.
No. Look at what I have posted in the WhatsApp group.
All right.
You will see.
Okay.
I think I've replied that in the WhatsApp group. Yes.
So just to confirm one more thing, the presentation dates 5th to 9th, right? When will you confirm it? Because one of my concerns is that starting from next week, there will be Chinese New Year. There's a week that I will not be around, so I have a little bit of limited time to do the things.
Okay, so I understand that. Okay, the thing, anything will not be happen during Chinese New Year. It will be okay. Of course, the 5th to 9th, I will give the time. Okay, and you can just write down your preference. Okay. Even though I will give that time 5th to 9th, let's say the time that I have given to you is not suitable for you, and you are only free on certain time. Let's say you're free only, let's say you are only free on early morning on the 9th, very early morning, 5 o'clock you are free. 5 to 5:30, only 5 to 5:30 you are free. I'll try to make it 5 to 5:30 because it's only half an hour.
It won't be that early, but I just need to know roughly when is it.
I will arrange that.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Bala.
All right. I'm going to end this meeting, and you will have to join in again at 2. I will open by, let's say, by 1:55 or maybe by 2. Okay, depending if I'm able to, I should be able to come back by then. I will see you later. All right, see you later. Enjoy your lunch. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Enjoy.
Thank you.